Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 6th. It is 6:24 right now. We got market opening up in about 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. It's good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link is sent out. Stream. Looks like we are good to go here. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 6th. It is 6:26 right now. We have market opening up in about 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Started shortly. So, going down to the 4 hour. Down to the 30-minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10. Looks like market is dumping right now. It started dumping about a few minutes ago. Assuming news got released. All right. Looks good. Big order just came in right there for sells. Bunch of sells are just flooding in right now. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, May 6th. It is 6:28 right now. We have market opening up in about 2 minutes. Breakout for today is looking like a sell, but I probably would just hold off on the breakout initially because, I mean, obviously you guys can see this big slump has just happened right here in the previous, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the past 8 minutes, price has just dumped super heavy right here. So if you're looking to take the breakout, I'd probably hold off on it. Breakout for today is going to be a sell, but if you guys do want to take it, take it at your own risk. Let's see what's here so far. Morning, Steven. Morning, Lila. Morning, Maria. Morning, Christian. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. Yeah, this thing's starting to dump just now. Let me check CNBC if there's any breaking news. But there was pre-market news. So we had imports, balance of trade. exports, red books. We had some news here at 5:30, and then that's about it. We have TIPP economic optimism at 7:10, and then we have the New York Fed Treasury purchases at 7:30. So we had some it's medium impact news here at 5:30. I'll mark that up. We have something here at 7:10 and 7:30. They're low impact. All right, guys, so market is now open here. Looks like we're getting some recovery. This is why I said to hold off on the breakout, because price is dumping super heavily. It's looking for this correction back up, possibly another drop back down after, but the volatility is really low right now, currently at 19 ATR on open. This initial opening candle right here is pushed up about 40 points. See what happens in a few. I'm in no rush here to take anything. CNBC. Big contract came in. I'm assuming for buys. Yeah, big buy contracts came in at 41,000. It's at the whole number, so it's looking like a corrective push right there. So see what happens here shortly, guys. Price looks like it's pushing up to that area of liquidity above. Nothing to take right now. All right, so price pretty much pushed up, went to this area of liquidity. We have a pending buy signal on that candle. Let's see. So it says Dow drops more than 300 points as traders await trade deals. Fed decision, live update. So the Fed decision comes out tomorrow. So basically what the market here is saying is that the market's going to stay a little flat until the Fed news comes out tomorrow. I think the Fed is not going to change the interest rates. I don't think they're going to be cutting any rates tomorrow. I probably would wait until summer, probably June, July, somewhere around that time before they start cutting. Probably not right now. So see what happens here. All right. Price pushed up, rejected directly off the sessions right there. Looks like it's creating a range, basically what it did yesterday, what it did last week. So it came down super heavily right here, create a lower range, push back up right here, create an upper range, and then it's probably going to go back and forth. We'll see. I mean, the range might even be up here. So if it does push up higher, range might stay up here and then come back down. But you guys can see where price is having trouble getting past right here, the hit that purple line, which is the Asia low. Let's see, Paul Tudor Jones says stock market will hit new lows even if Trump cuts tariffs to 50%. Yeah, I can see that. I think the market's gonna be pretty crazy, back and forth. We're back to 41,000. So if you go in the higher time frames, you can kind of see where these ranges are happening at. That's kind of where the range is at, right? It's going between it's probably better if we go on the daily. So the daily range right here, if you look, it's going to be between 43,000 and 36,000. So this will probably be the range for the year, or at least until the summer. It's a big range. Because the thing is, the tariff news is going to come out again in, I think, the end of June, when the 90 days are up. And then we'll see if there's any progress with the tariffs from there. But anyways, We have a possible MPSV2 setting up here for a buy. Let's take a look at the overall trend. The higher time frames here are a little mixed. The 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 1 minute's bullish. So they're trying to shift up. The highest time frame, the 4 hour here has been bullish pretty much all throughout. The 1 hour here started to shift a little bit, but it looks like it's trying to push back up with the 1 minute here. So the 1 minute's leading, so it's pushing price up, but it's pretty mixed. It's not one-sided. So we got a buy signal here, possible retracement candle. These candles are starting to get a little bigger. Go and adjust this to 7 just for now. It doesn't really make a big difference. ATR is currently at 32. Here is the market profile. Let's see if there's any confluences here. Price is currently at the point of control, so this will likely, it can either bounce off and come back down or break above it and continue climbing up higher from there. So we got some top rejections right here. There's going to be rejections on both ends. The 30-minute is rejecting off the bottom from earlier today. It's also pushing up right here and it might reject off the top end. The 1 hour candle here looks pretty crazy though. If you look at the 1 hour candle, this thing was way down here and it pushed all the way up. That 1 hour candle is looking pretty crazy. There's a possible MPSV2 right here, guys. The only problem is that it's going to be right at the news price. If it does push up, it's also touching the session, so this is considered a red flag. I don't think this is going to be an entry for us here. Hey, what's up, man? Morning. Sam said, hey, Sean, do you think market may range as everyone's waiting for FOMC? Possibly. Usually during Fed week, that's usually how it is. It usually ranges Monday, Tuesday, then Fed day comes out on Wednesday, and then they release the interest rate and stuff like that. But I don't think it's going to make a big difference because I don't think anybody's predicting a cut tomorrow. So I think volatility will pick up that day, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference. Like it's not going to make a huge impact on the market. But yeah, I do think the market will start to move a little more directional after tomorrow. So it's just a matter of time, right? Fed week is usually like this. You just have to be patient. The MPSV2 here is still setting up, guys. But again, like I said, it's not going to be one that I recommend taking because for one, there's just not any confluences here for a buy. It's confluences for a sell, not really for a buy here. Yeah, if you guys want to take it, you just got to wait for that green candle, but there's nothing here really pointing towards a buy. So I'm going to hold off on any entries for now, specifically. Oops. So it looks like we're starting to get a rejection up here. This is going to be the MPSV2 if anybody's looking to take it, guys. It's going to be right at the sessions, though, so it's not one that I'm looking to take. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys here. Probably want to use something around a 35.35 or a 30.30, somewhere around there. Probably a 30.30 because looking at the ATR down here, it's starting to slow down a little bit. So this is an MPSV2, guys, for a buy. Or actually, sorry, it's not. Take that back. The green candle did not close above momentum here. So there's still opportunity here for an MPSV2 if price pushes back up higher. It's still at these red flags, though. So it's right here at the sessions and at news price. So if you do see a green candle here, that closes above basically the news price, this is going to be the MPSV2. Has not closed yet. We have a buy signal that came up, retracement. The confirmation still hasn't happened. It has to close above this pink line right here. So there's no MPSV2 there yet. Price is still kind of consolidating, ranging right now. It's kind of what we expected. We'll mark up some liquidity there to give you guys an idea of like where price is likely to kind of bounce. And this stuff right there. So you can kind of see the range starting to develop around this area. It's looking like it's going to range between this area right here down the middle, right? We got liquidity on both ends right here. We got a lot of liquidity sitting up here. So I think if price does push up, it'll probably blast right through. But I mean, at this point, it looks like price is going to go sideways for a bit. No confluences here on the 1 minute market profile. The most recent rejection is down here, but this happened a bit of a while ago. 30-minute time frame, we have rejection right here on the top end and right here on the bottom end. 1 hour time frame, we have a big rejection right here off the bottom. Huge wick on the bottom as well. Volume profile, there's nothing really here. There was a rejection off the value low, but this was a while back. Clean chart, not really much here. Support resistance chart, we do have a rejection right here off the support level. So, I mean, the buys could work. It's just, we're stuck in this range right here. Not really expecting too much to happen from this point. You're looking to take that MPSV2, you're going to look for that green candle to close above the pink line. Not look like there's going to be an MPSV2 there. All right, so the buys look like they haven't came up and they're probably not going to come up. We got price grabbing liquidity over here with the pending sell signal. If this is the case, we might have opportunities here for a sell. We don't really have rejections here on the 1 minute, but we do have price pushing away from the point of control. We do have rejections here on the 30-minute, so the sells here could be good, what I see. Not really a clean rejection here off the 1 hour, but it is pushing away from the point of control. Volume profile, we do have rejection right here off the point of control. Right here on the clean chart, we don't necessarily have a break, so what we might get here is possibly a break and retest off this whole number here, the 41,000 price. And same with here on the support resistance, possibly a break and retest off this support turn resistance. So we have possibility for opportunity here for a sell. This is the 5-minute liquidity zone. So basically another break and retest right here too. A lot of confluences here for a sell. So we got price here basically grabbing liquidity or break and retest off liquidity. The sell signal hasn't closed yet, so this is where it's going to become a little tricky. We need that sell signal to close. I was hoping it would close like up here, but it hasn't. Let's see. Kyle is asking, has anyone had an issue with NinjaTrader? When I log in, none of the windows open. I tried repairing and restarting, but nothing worked. So the only thing that I can think of that might have happened, Kyle, is you might have closed it. You might have saved it with all the windows closed. Because usually when you close NinjaTrader, sometimes if you close all the windows and then you get to the last one, which is the control panel, and then you click save, it'll save that as your settings where you have no windows open. Um, Unless you don't have the control panel open at all. I'm assuming because the control panel is usually the main window that's always it has to open. Um, Otherwise, I mean, you could probably set to, oh, weird, yes, your control panel's not. I would uninstall and then reinstall. Yeah, Shabam said mine played up yesterday, but I had to restart it to fix it. Even when I forced close, it didn't work. Yeah, so that might be your first option. Just restart it first. For me, so I have an issue with my NinjaTrader right now too. I can't roll over the contracts. So I've been trying to roll over my contracts and every time I open my window, it asks me if I want to roll over. So I don't know. NinjaTrader is it's a little bit of a clunky platform. I mean, it sucks because it's the only option that we really have to use these copiers. Unless we're on like Rhythmic, but yeah, there are some issues and some bugs with NinjaTrader. I probably have to reinstall the platform. All right, we're starting to get some pretty crazy volatility right here. The candle pushed up, and then as it pushed up, it came down super sharply on this current candle. So we're starting to get some crazy volatility right now. This is probably the craziest candle we've seen so far today. This was about a 50-point spike that happened immediately. Yeah, I would probably start, Kyle, by either restarting your computer, and then if not, then I would clean your system of like all your NinjaTrader stuff and then just reinstall it. I think that's what I have to do too. I might have to do a clean install of my NinjaTrader. Hmm. That's something I don't like about Windows computers. There's always issues like that with platforms getting corrupted and some sort of issues. All right, so we have a pending sell signal right here still, guys. So the range that I talked about earlier, it's still there. So basically the range that I mentioned earlier is like basically up here. Upper range, lower range. So this range has pretty much been established throughout the day um, from London session. So basically right here around 4 o'clock, price came down, put into this range. I mean, there's a tighter range right here if you care to have this marked up as well. Looks like a middle range right here too. This has just been the market for the past 2 weeks. So like initially here in the morning, we had like this smaller range, which is right here. And then price broke below and it created a bigger range. So price broke below, basically broke and retest off this area. Like I mentioned earlier, price pretty much grabbed liquidity, faked out, and then came back down. That break and retest. And yeah, this thing has been spiking and there's still no sell signal. See here, this is what I was looking for. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't have taken this entry, but this is the setup that I was looking for right here because we had a sell signal come up from like way up here. So we've been having pending sell signals from way up here. I was looking for the setup right here, basically a sell signal maybe on this one, retrace, and then continuation down. Entry could have happened right there. Or if we got a sell signal later on, we could have got entry right here, right next to it. Or if we had the sell signal come down right here, price could have retraced and came back down right here for entry down here. So, I mean, I was looking for that sell signal. It just never came up. So the MPSV2 never set up for us to take. But there's basically a bunch of setups here that could have played out if we got that sell signal. It's all good though. Not going to force anything here. Just got to stay patient. This is usually what gets people trapped, right? You start to chase these drops or these pushes to the upside. Like for example, here, this push to the upside probably got chased and they got stopped out. People who are now chasing the sell are probably going to get stopped out here if it swings back up. So still no sell signal. Sell signal here again is pending. Looks like it's finally going to close, and we do have the sell signal there now. Okay. What I might have to wait for here is until 7 o'clock for a new 30-minute candle to close. So price is below the value low right here. What I'm going to look for is a possible break and retest of this area. Yeah, 30-minute rejection here is super strong now off the point of control. Looking at the 1 hour, this thing's pretty much came all the way back down to the lower value low right there. See if there's any news at county breaking news. No, there's nothing here. So I'm trying to figure out what's causing these big spikes, right? Because something's causing this price to come down super heavily. There's got to be something there. So this is the most recent breaking news from this morning. It says EU Commission will propose in June banning Russian gas and LNG imports under new deals and existing spot contracts. I don't think that's what's causing the market to drop like that. I mean, this thing dropped super, super heavy within so it basically, what happened here was a huge fake out, right? So initially here pre-market, if you guys were on when market opened up, we had price drop 8 minutes before it, and we have a big order that just came in. Let me see what it was for. 53 contracts at 48.67 for a buy. Looks like people are trying to buy the dip here, or they're getting stopped out. But yeah, anyways, we had this drop right here that happened pre-market. We had this drop to the downside. And then this correction right here on open, and then it just corrected back down here even further. So we were initially looking for sells here. I was looking for that correction back up and then drop back down. This is why I was looking for the sell signal. I mean, this thing's a little tricky now though, because we do have the sell signal, but at this point, I think price is overextended. If you look from up here, price has dropped about 225 points. That's a pretty big drop for a normal market. This isn't like one of those volatile days. So I don't know if this is going to be worth risking for a sell here. Yeah, it's a little tricky. Let's take a look again. So the 4 hour here is it's still bullish. 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 1 minute bearish. Everything's bearish except the 4 hour here. The 4 hour is still bullish, and it may correct back up. Looking over here, I'm looking for any possible confluences for a sell. I don't really see any confluences here on the 1 minute. Obviously, there's this huge rejection right here, but this happened a long time ago on the 30 minute. There's not really a rejection up here, but price did push away from that point of control. Looking at this over here on the volume profile, we have there's a rejection that happened a long time ago right here. This is about 10 to 15 minutes ago. There's nothing here on the clean chart. And there's nothing here on the support resistance either. Yeah, the sells are going to be tricky, guys. I mean, if you guys want to take him, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I think the sells here are going to be a little bit on the trickier side. Because I think the overextension here is what's throwing me off. So if this candle here closes red, this is going to be an entry for a MPSV2 for a sell. Again, I don't think this is going to be a good entry because I think price is overextended for a sell here. If you guys do want to take it, I'll follow it for you guys, but I'm going to hold off. Probably wait until like about 7 o'clock for me for a new market profile candle to close on the 30. See, ideally, I'd want to get a buy signal here. Ideally, I would like to see a buy signal here and then continuation down lower. This is actually a break and retest off liquidity. So we got a sell signal here. This MPSV2 might be good, guys. Now that I'm looking at this here, we do have a break and retest off the liquidity level. Sell signal, retracement, and if it closes red, it's probably going to push below. I just don't like how these candles are moving. See this low volatility? I don't want to be caught in this position holding on to it, and then it ends up just going sideways for like a good while. So no red candle there yet. Doesn't look like it. All right, so never mind. No sells here. We're now back into buys here with the buy signal, which just came up. The thing with the buy signal here is, I mean, I probably wouldn't take any buys here either, because if you look over here, we're actually, the 1 minute has a rejection here off the value low. Here, I might take that back. The buys here might be good. So we got a rejection off the 1 minute, rejection off the 30 minute, rejection off the 1 hour. Nothing on the volume profile. Clean chart rejection right here off the 40,850. And we may get a break and retest right here off the support and resistance chart. So the buys here actually might look pretty good. The only problem is that we're going to have a red flag here, which is opening price, of course. So we have price, which came down, grab liquidity. Looks like it's starting to fake out, push back to the upside. These red flags are going to throw me off. Red flags are going to throw me off because any entry we take here is going to be stuck at that red flag right there. Opening price. We also got news right here at 7:10. It's economic optimism. All right, we got the buy signal right there. We got the retracement starting to set up. I don't know if this is going to be a good entry, guys. Like the entry would have to come up pretty low or lower. This will have to go up to opening price right there. Or if you want to cut it shorter, because the ATR is actually a little low. So you can probably bring your target down to 25-ish. It'd still be pretty close to it. Let's see. Confluences look good though. So confluences look good, but it's going to be right at the opening price, guys. So I'm probably going to sit out on this. I'm not going to force any trades here. I mean, this still kind of fits my red flag. Yeah, I'm going to watch it for you guys. I'm not going to take it. It's still considered red flag for me right there at the opening price. Last thing I want to do is go against my rules here and then regret it. So if you guys are in the position, I'll follow it for you. The ATR is pretty low, so a 25 might be better in this case, but I'll follow it for you guys. Yeah, Sam said he's skipping it too. As much as I wanted to take this trade here, because the trade does look good, there's a lot of setups here, there's a lot of confluences. The only problem is that we're at the opening price, so like anything can happen as soon as price gets near that opening price right there, right? Um, so we'll follow it and I'll watch it. I'm not going to fade your trade. We'll just see where it goes. And then this is also the support level too. So what I might see here is possibly a break and retest. If we see a break and retest into this level, then I think that's going to be good. But again, right there, see how price is having trouble getting past this area. That's why it's considered a red flag for us. Yeah, Drew said might fake out and go back down to lower range. I agree. So it basically established a new range down here, right? I'm gonna take this off. I don't want you to think I'm in the position. So that was a good call right there to skip that trade. See how this here got pretty much screwed at the opening price. 5 to 6 of the rules. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go grab me a jacket. All right, back. So it looks like this thing here shot all the way up. So if you guys caught it, nice work right there. So like I said, I'm not going to fade your guys' trade. Like even if it's a trade, I'm not going to take. I'm not going to analyze against it. But right here, I'm glad it did play through. This is what we like to see. So we still want trades to hit, even though they're risky or they're at a red flag. Um, I'm just not going to take it myself, of course, unless they start to hit like every single time. Then there'll be certain red flags that we can disregard. So let's see. Nice. Talanji got it. Nick got it. Mike caught it as well. CJ said took it, but didn't realize it was near opening price until after entered, since CJ got in late. Yeah, nice work, guys. So solid work to whoever caught that trade there. I mean, it was an entry nonetheless. It was just at a red flag. So it doesn't meet my trade criteria because I don't like to trade at red flags. But for those of you who did take it, nice work. Yeah, Nick didn't catch it. It's all good. Yeah, I didn't catch it either. I wanted to take this trade. So like if this trade happened and it wasn't at a red flag, I would have taken it because like I said, there was a lot of confluences here. We had a rejection off the value low, rejection on the 30, rejection on the 1 hour. A lot of good confluences there. It was just a tricky entry because for one, the ATR is a little lower and then it was at the red flag. Nice. Rev caught it too for 20 points. Nice work, Rev. Yeah, Drew said Tuesday didn't want to get trapped, right? Didn't want to get trapped for Trap Tuesday. Yeah, and Siobhan held off as well. It's all good. I'm gonna wait for the next one. I'm sure there'll be more opportunities here. I was kind of waiting until closer to 7 o'clock anyways, because I wanted to see the 30-minute candle just. There's no breaking news. Let's try to open this up. It says wobbling economy will push the Fed to cut interest rates later this year. Yeah, which I agree. As the Fed help respond, not only higher prices from tariffs and weakening growth. Yeah, no surprise there. That's pretty much what I talked about earlier. So I don't think they're going to cut, like, I don't think interest rates are going to get cut tomorrow, but I think they're going to get cut later in the year. Like probably in June or July, like in the summer, maybe a quarter percentage. Let's see, Glenn's asking if there's an A plus plus here. Yeah, it looks like there's one right there, Glenn. So there's an A plus plus that came up right over here right after. It's still running right now. It's on its way to its TP. It's in its middle range now. So we had engulfing, buy signal, MPSV2 engulfing right there. So the A plus plus, I mean, this looks like a good setup because it's probably going to push up. Well, I mean, it already did push up to the upper range. So it's a little tricky at this point because it's either going to bounce off here and come back down or it's going to break above it. Right. Take this off. I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. There's an A plus plus that was running right there, but I mean you probably would have because the ATR is really low when so like I think you'd probably have to go for like a 25, if not less. It's at 23. I think that yes, so the 25 would have hit right there. The 30 is kind of pushing it. So like I talked about yesterday, guys, I'm not gonna adjust my TP stop loss until probably next week. I'm still going to be entering my positions with a 40-40, but I'll adjust them to something smaller. So like maybe a 30-30 or something like that. But I have my settings still set at 40-40. So I'm always going to enter at 40-40, but I'm going to make adjustments to whatever the ATR is. Right now, the ATR is sitting below 30 on average. Yeah, Solange said I only disregarded opening since price already passed it on the rejection. Yeah, and I would have done the same thing too, Solange. So Talanji basically mentioned that, market opened right here at 6:30, came back and retested it right here at this point. And then Talanji was okay with disregarding it because it came back up. Normally, I would do that too if it would have came around a couple times. So for example, it came down, came up, came back here. And then now if it comes back down, I would be okay with the touch now, right? Because it's been touching it so many times. The only reason I was kind of iffy about this was because this was just the correction after the initial drop. So you guys can see over here, we're really just in a really big range, right? So this range is basically this whole area right here. So this is where market opened up, ranged above, ranged below, came back up. We're just in this big range here. This is the type of market we've been in for the past week or 2 weeks now. Basically stuck in this big range. This is typically what happens on open. We get a big push to the upside or to the downside, then it corrects back up, then it comes back down. It just creates this big upwards and downwards range right here. So if I was to clean this up and take this one off and this one, you can see the range here more clearly, right? Because it pretty much pushed up and came back down. But I put these two middle ones because there are these middle levels here where price is still kind of bouncing from. We got price over here pushing up. We got the economic optimism news that just came out right there. It was negative. It's forecast to be positive. It's actually very negative. It's low impact, so I'm not going to mark it up. You know, the thing is, economic optimism used to be a medium impact news. It's now low impact. This is something we should look at before. So negative news, the price is still pushing up. You can see here it's not really following the release. So we have liquidity right here. There's two things that may play out here. Price may grab liquidity, fake out, and come back down. Or price may break and retest past liquidity and continue climbing up, right? Couple of things there. Let's see, Rev's asking what's the criteria for the A++. A++ is basically a third leg. So it's a third leg, and it's followed with the criteria and basically catalyst for it is going to be the reversal pattern. So like basically there's a reversal pattern right here. It's an engulfing candle. Price pushes up. There's an NPSV2 right here, and then another reversal pattern right there. That's why the A++ came up on that E. So, I mean, it just depends on like how you want to take it. If you want to take it for 30-30, it looks like the 30-30 actually would have hit, guys. It just would have taken a little longer for it to hit. So I think I'm going to keep going for 30-30s with my entries. All right, price broke above, broke past the liquidity right there. Price is still pushing up. Hey, what's up, Tarek? Yeah, so the first one over here, Tarek, I was gonna take this one, but it was right at opening price. So I didn't take it because of the red flag. This one over here was an A++ that Glenn mentioned. I didn't take this one either. I didn't see it until after. So like Glenn mentioned it, but I didn't look at it until it was like a candle in. So it was a little too late. Probably could have entered in late right here if I wanted to, but I didn't. I'm not trying to follow into those trades. But yeah, this MPSV2 was actually, it was a really nice setup. It had confluences on pretty much everything. So it had a confluence on the 1 minute market profile, 30-minute, 1 hour, clean chart, pretty much everything. It was just the volatility was really low. It was like at 20 points ATR, and then it pretty much went flat. You can see, yeah, the first two candles went flat, and then it shot up on this one right here. So yeah, there was news at 7:10, so it wasn't immediately at this time, but there was news right here at 7:10 that came out. It was economic optimism. It usually is medium impact news, but for this month it was low impact. So this is what I'm going to be kind of looking at because it was forecasted to be positive, but it was very negative. So last month was 49.1, forecast to be 50.2, is actually 47.9. So worse than the previous month. So a big push up right here could be possible correction once it grabs the liquidity right here. And possible correction back down. We'll see. These high-low scalps are hitting pretty nicely, guys. I know for a lot of you guys who've been around for a while in the past, there's a high-low scalp that came up right here, broken close past this lower high. It's one thing I've been noticing. Yeah, high-low scalp right there for a full TP. Or a swell when it's untested. I'm gonna wait again. It's fine. We got a lot of time here. It's 7:15, so we got basically half an hour still. All right, let's see what happens here. Price is currently at that area of liquidity above. See if it holds or if it rejects off this point and comes back down. Let's see if it does come back down. There is confluences here for a sell. So looking at the 1-minute market profile, we do have rejections off the point of control. If price does come back down, we have rejections here off the 30-minute. If you look here on the higher time frames, guys, we're in a pretty big range. On the 30-minute, it's pretty much ranging between this upper area and this lower area, basically between the point of control and the value low. Same with the 1 hour here. Value high, value low. So price is up here grabbing liquidity. It's rejecting off that liquidity right there, actually. So it's coming to grab this area and then possibly coming back down. Yeah. I mean, we're really just waiting for a sell signal here. All right, we got price pushing up higher. We're currently at the sessions. Let's see what happens here, guys. We're currently 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 at the sessions right here, I'll leave that highest level of liquidity up. Man, that's crazy. Price here, like the range here, it ranged up perfect. So, like I mentioned earlier, if I take this level and this level off, pretty much price created this big range here. So price opened right here, pushed up, faked out, came down, established a high, came down right here, established a low. Now it's above right here. Like it's shot right through. The crazy thing is that there's not really news here that's pushing price around, right? If you guys remember for the past couple of weeks, we had like we had a market that wasn't really it wasn't really moving smooth like this. I mean, it was all news driven. So last week and the week before it was all news driven. We see tariff news, we see interest rate news, we see Trump post stuff, and everything's based off news. Right here, price has kind of been staying within the market profile. I mean, it's finally breaking above it, but you can see how price is like respecting the market profile because it's just going back and forth. So I mean, we're kind of just waiting here for some sort of opportunity. Um, so, obviously continue riding this up and whatnot. Damn, this thing pushed up high. So we're getting some pretty strong legs here. I mean, looking at this, it's not as choppy as it was last week. Last week was ranging, but it was choppy. Now we have a range, but it's actually moving pretty smoothly. So again, it's just gonna be a matter of time until this retraces back. We have some opportunities here for entry, but right now we just don't have anything. We're currently at the New York high right now. So price pretty much broke past liquidity, grabbed liquidity, pushed up a little bit higher. So this is where the initial area of liquidity was. Pushed up higher, bugged off the sessions, and then now it looks like it may be turning from here. There's two things that'll probably happen at where we're currently at right now. It's either going to bounce off this sessions like it's bouncing off right now and come back down, or it's going to break above and grab even more liquidity up here. There's a lot of liquidity up top, guys, because price hasn't came up this high in a while. So let's see, let me measure how far these ranges have been pushing. So from earlier, we had a range from up here to down here. We got to exactly 223, and then it full on reversed. That's how long this leg was. This leg is it's at overextension point. It's already 300 points above. So I think it's time for it to retrace down. It's just a matter of time until it does. Samson, man, I missed the entire move. I know. There's a bunch of A++ continuations here that were coming up. So the engulfings came up right here. So engulfing, V1, engulfing. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, there just isn't any setups. There's confluences here for if you want to get in for these dips, but for me personally, I'm not really looking to take these types of entries here. Here's one thing that I noticed. So I always notice these patterns in the market, guys. So for example, right here, see, whenever you have price push up, if it ever retraces and it has an engulfing right after, it looks like it pushes up further. So price pushed up, red candle, engulfing, pushed up higher. Price pushed up, retracement right here, V1, pushed up higher. Price pushed up, retracement right here on this red candle, engulfing. and it pushed up higher. So if you look at these reversal patterns from the bottom end, if they're following between, I mean, this is a price action pattern right here, basically. If you have an opposite candle in between, usually pushes up, but then on top of that, you have the reversal pattern as well. So kind of similar to like what happened here. Price kind of came up, came down, red, green, red, engulfing V1, came down lower. So it's a classic price action pattern. I forget what it's called. There's a name for it, but I've been noticing a little more lately. So for example, here price was coming down, green candle engulfing. It was a green candle in between two reds, and it shot down from there. So whenever I see these price action patterns, I'll kind of mention them to you guys. You don't necessarily need to know them. It's just patterns that I'm seeing. And they're useful if you're looking for those continuation type entries. There's nothing happening up here. So like I said earlier, guys, we're kind of just waiting for something to happen here on the sessions. We were looking around this area. I said price is either going to bounce off the sessions and come back down, or it's going to break above and continue climbing up higher and grab the next levels of liquidity over here. Price is just having trouble getting past the sessions up here. See where price is currently at the New York low? I'm surprised this is the New York low, actually. Where's the New York high at? It's like up here. Okay. So now that I'm looking at this here, it looks like price pretty much slumped down during London session. So during London, price actually came down very heavily. So it came way down here. Okay, I can see why the correction here is happening. So I do see price possibly pushing up higher. Because if you look at this from this point, from London session up until this morning, so this thing actually slumped a lot. It dropped almost like 500 points. So now that I'm looking here at the bigger picture, I'm like, okay, price is probably going to try to keep pushing up. Looking at this here, though, it looks like it might have established some sort of resistance. Yeah, the 3-point touch. So price might be coming back down from where it's currently at. So we had the rejection from up here. Rejection from right here. And also rejection from right here. Yeah, basically triple top. All right, I guess we'll just give it some time here to kind of figure out what it wants to do. Looking over here at the multiple time frames again. So the 4-hour is still bullish. 1 hour is bearish, but it was shifting back to bullish. 30-minute here is still bearish. 10-minute is neutral, switching up to bullish. 5-minute switching up to bullish, and the 1 minute here is bullish. So it's pretty mixed across the board. It looks like price here is just going to be going sideways for a bit. Yeah, we're pretty much just getting this sideways move right here.
We got price currently at the sessions up here, guys. We have news right here at 7:30. It is low impact New York Fed Treasury purchases. I mean, it's pretty much neutral. There's no news that came out on there. It's just a news event. The New York Treasury purchases just came out right there. We have price right here rejecting off the New York low. So again, price still hasn't gotten past this area, right? Volatility is super low. The ATR is currently at 22. And there's not really much here going on. Looks like we're starting to feel the summer market. I mean, it's not summer market yet, but it's starting to move like summer market. This is kind of how the summer is usually. It's pretty slow. The ATR here is below 20. I mean, this is usually below 30, but this is like pretty low. It's like 21 right now. I don't know if this here is going to stand though. So right now it's currently really slow. I think over the next couple of days, something's probably going to happen in the news. You know, Trump can't stay quiet for that long. Like Trump hasn't said anything in a while. So I think tomorrow's gonna be pretty big, even though the interest rates are probably not going to get released tomorrow. Like it's not going to drop. I think tomorrow's gonna be kind of big because when the interest rates don't get dropped tomorrow, I think Trump is going to have some bad things to say about Powell. You know, that's usually how it works. Trump and Powell don't really get along. So, and Trump was trying to get rid of Powell for a while. You know, if you guys remember, like last month and 2 months ago, basically Trump said that they're looking at ways to fire Powell, but Powell said that, you know, according to the law, he can't be fired. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But yeah, the ATR here is really low, guys. If you look closely, let's go to the clean chart. So this is a little more easier to see because we don't have all the markups on the chart, but you guys can see over here from the clean chart that there's not really anything going on here. Price has pretty much been going sideways for the past maybe 10 to 20 minutes now. It's trying to break above the sessions right there. Let's see if it actually closes above it and continues climbing. We got two levels of liquidity right here. This first one got hit. I'll clean that one up. There's nothing here to work with right now. And the ATR just keeps getting lower, guys. So we're now at 18 ATR, below 20. Yeah, Sam said, yeah, I'm looking to buy some gold tonight if it comes to a support and hold all-time high. Yeah, that could be good. You get in at a good price. Price kind of pushing up finally. We're starting to get a little more volatility here, not a crazy amount, but a little more volatility. Mike said, what are your ATR settings? Let me go put them back to default. I think they're still at 7. Okay, so put them back to default right there at 14. I put them at 7 in the morning, but usually I put them back to 14.
the default once we've kind of smoothed out. It's not really a big deal anymore, though. I don't think I will have to change it because we're not getting those big spikes here on open. I'd probably just leave it at the default now because we're not getting those crazy like 100-point candles on, the first two candles or whatever. So I'd probably leave it at 14 now because it's not really making a huge difference. All right, so we got price climbing up higher. Ideally, I'd like to see some sort of retracement, but it's just not really looking like it right here. The volatility is a little too low. We have price break past this area of liquidity. A little boring market. This really feels like summer. If you guys have ever traded summer markets with me, like this is kind of what you should be expecting. It might not be like this all summer because we're probably gonna have like a lot other news events, but it's just these first 2 days. Yesterday was kind of like this, today's kind of like this. Obviously, it's a slow market. It's a slow market. It's very boring because you don't really have very many opportunities. The thing with this type of market, though, is that the volatility tends to kind of pick up at random times. Like right now, it's probably pretty dead, and then closer to like 7:45, closer to 8, the volatility might pick up a little bit, and you might have some opportunities for entry. But this is in a normal market, this is kind of how the summer moves. It's really slow. Um, I think people are just not in the market. Like we talked about earlier, people are just not in the market because they're waiting for the Fed news to come out. I mean, that's pretty much what CNBC reported over here, right? It says, basically the traders wait. Let me refresh this. So Dow drops more than 200 points as investors await trade deals, Fed decision rate. So that's kind of what's happening. There's no updates with the tariff news, and then also we don't have the any updates regarding the Fed rate decision, which is probably going to be neutral. So let's see. It says right here, Trump is scheduled for a meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney on Tuesday, marked the start of negotiations between the two leaders since Carney assumed office earlier this year. Yeah, so it looks like Trump is going to be meeting with Canada, and that'll probably be the first trade deal that gets discussed. Then they have the Fed meeting, which is tomorrow. This was 21 minutes ago. It said Trump tariffs are causing U.S. imports to plummet, hitting agriculture the hardest. So we finally got the sell signal right here. Now that we have the sell signal, we can look for either a sell position that may come up, or we may be able to look for a continuation back up to the upside. All right, we got that sell signal. Let's take a look at the confluences. So looking over here at the market profile, we don't have any confluences here for a sell. Looking at the 30-minute, nothing here as well. So this is kind of what I want to see. I want price to come down, retest the value high, push up higher. With the 1 minute here, I'd like price to drop a little lower, break above it, retest, continue up higher. 1 hour here is not going to make a difference. Volume profile, that'd be ideal. Price comes down, bounce off the value high, push up from there. Swing chart, I'd like to see price break above, retest, push up higher. Price is currently at the support right here on the SR chart. So this is a possible MPSV2 for a sell. Obviously not one that I'd recommend taking, but if you guys want to take it, I've set up right there for you. So we have a sell signal, retracement. If the candle closes red, then possible entry for here for a sell. Otherwise, no entry there yet. So you're basically looking for a red candle. I don't see any confluences here for a sell, so I wouldn't be inclined in taking. I think this could be a temporary push to the downside. No red candle there. Looks like a fake out, push back up. All right, so we got a sell candle here, red candle coming up. It's rejecting off the sessions. If you guys want to take it, feel free. This is going to be considered a red flag. The ATR is really low right now, so you might want to go for something smaller than a 30, maybe even a 25 in a situation like this. Yeah, this is a possible setup, but it's going to be right at the sessions. All right, sell entry here for MPSV2 closing in about 10 seconds. The candle has to close below this box. So basically below this lower end of the box right there. And there we go. There's an MPSV2 currently running. You guys are looking to take that. This is the setup, not one I would necessarily take because it's touching the sessions right there. So that's considered a red flag. I also don't have any confluences here for a sell. I mean, possibly one right there, but it's not very strong. Yeah, Solange said, I'll wait for the next one. It's been too long since the last signal. I agree. So whenever it's long like that, like Solange mentioned, it's usually just a retracement. Retracement can be long enough to hit TP though. We got the rejection here off the value high. We got a bottom rejection. So this is what I was looking for. I was actually looking for this to set up right here. Break and retest off that 30-minute value high. Yeah, Sam said skipping it. It could be a liquidity sweep. I agree. It just didn't look good. The setup here, that it actually looks good now for a buy because we now have the confluences here on the 30. We have the confluence here on the 1 minute, possibly if it breaks and retest. Nothing here on the 1 hour. There's an original rejection right here off the value low. Nothing on the volume profile here on the clean chart. So you guys can see over here, this is what I was looking for. Again, this could still possibly set up, break and retest off this whole number. Right here after 151. So I'll be looking for price to break above, retest, push up higher. And I'll look for this to, confirm their break and retest off that support. Nothing's going on here though. All right, 743. Volatility is really low, currently at 20 ATR. Not in this position, guys. It's marked it up as the MPSV2 for a sell right there. Ideally, I'd like to look for a buy here. So ideally, I'd like to see this climb up. But I'm not going to fade your trade. If you guys are in this position, I'm hoping it comes down, hits your TP first, and it comes back up, and then pushes through. So we'll follow this, but again, I'm not in this position. If we get a little too high up, I'm probably going to take it off because I don't want people to think that I'm in it. There's just a red flag here. So like there was an entry, sell signal, retracement, confirmation on this red candle right here, broke below momentum. The only main problem that I can see here with this entry is that it was touching the sessions, right? This green line right here is rejecting directly off the sessions. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword. It's a good thing because it could be a break and retest to the downside. It's a bad thing because this is an area of manipulation, right? So just something to keep an eye out for, and something to kind of pay attention to just in case. Still nothing going on here. We have that buy signal. I'm gonna take this off, guys. I don't want you guys to think that I'm in the position. We have a pending buy signal right here. That pending buy signal is pretty much what I'm looking for. Yeah, Shabam said this is giving me Friday vibes again. Breakout entry, then a pump. Yeah. So I'm looking for here too. I'm looking for that push to the upside. There we go. Yeah, Tarek said buys look good here. Just need to set up. Exactly. So this is what I've been waiting for right here, guys. We got the buy signal that came up. Price pushing above the market profile. We got 30-minute rejection, 1 hour rejection. Clean chart, maybe a break and retest right there. I mean, we'll see. And we really just need the buy signal to close. Yeah, Steven said hopefully get an official entry so everyone can take it. Yep, I agree, Steven. That's one thing I'll agree with you on. So just gotta give us some time. Yeah, Siobhan said, man, like Steven, I agree also. Yeah, we just gotta let it play out. I mean, I'm waiting for the entry to come to me. I'm not gonna force anything here, of course. Get that buy signal there. And there goes, the buy signal has not closed. Pending buy signal. The volatility is just too low right now. It's like we're still waiting. Yeah, Christian said if it gives us a good entry, I will go for 2020 because of the ATR. ATR is pretty low, yeah. I'm gonna go with my initial 40-40 and I'll make some adjustments as price kind of moves along. Yeah, Sam said 41 to 121 liquidity sweep left and went up. Weird. That's what it looks like, right? Yeah, pretty much sweep liquidity. You can see from the wick right there. That went right back up. Here, this is what I'm gonna do right here. I'm going to the volatility is just super, super low. Here, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit so that you guys can see the range because it's obviously ranging right here. I had one big zone there, but I'll just draw this so you can see just to have it make a little more sense. So this is the consolidation range right here, guys. It's been pretty much ranging between this area for about like almost 30 to 40 minutes now. So if you look closely, it's kind of just been going back and forth between this area. Buy signal never came up. Yeah, Sam said it did not sweep according to me. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a clean sweep or like even a good sweep at all. This was a low though, so let me check real quick. So see how the low was around this area right here? I mean, yeah, it actually didn't come down to the full sweep because it should have came down to here to like 121. So it didn't actually come down and grab it completely. It came close to it and then it shot all the way back up. Yeah, because your sweep would have happened right here, which didn't get that far. It was off by like a few points. Okay, so here's the thing that I was mentioning yesterday. So see right here, we had a V1. This was also a lower high. So whenever you have something like that, that usually is a good confluence for reversal. There's a V1 right there. It's also a high point. And this thing started coming down from there. All right, guys, unfortunately, it's not looking like we're going to get that buy for today. The buy signal never came up. Price is kind of just sitting within this range now. I was getting a little excited there for a second. I thought we were going to get it, but fortunately not. Yeah, it looked like it could have been good. I mean, who knows? We might still get it here. Not completely out of the game yet. What a boring market. It's all good. I mean, the thing is, we still stuck to our trade plan, guys, and that's the key thing that matters, right? Boring markets, exciting markets, crazy markets, etc. It doesn't really make a difference for us because our main goal here is really to stick to the trade plan. We know what the numbers look like. We know what our trade win percentage is. We know what as long as you stick to the game plan, you should be fine. A day with no trades is better than having a day with losses. So going back to my stats for the year so far, again, here are my stats. I haven't taken any trades this week. So if you look over here at my calendar, I have literally nothing for this week. For the month so far, I'm still up 110,000. For the year so far, I'm still up the same amount. I'm up about 492,750 gross, 425,619 net. So this is why I don't have to force anything, right? I'm trying to stick to my game plan. I'm hoping like for May, we can have like ideally we have like a pretty nice long win streak, kind of like what happened in March. So March over here was nice. A lot of win streaks happened back to back. April was a mess because of the tariff news. And then this month over here, it's taking a little easier. Taking a little easy, not really forcing anything here, kind of just playing by ear. If I see anything good, I'll take it. But unfortunately, we're just kind of stuck in this slow market. This is really going to test most people, right? Like I feel like this tests most people when you see a market like this is going to force, it's not a force, but it's gonna tempt people to take something that's not there, right? So for example, here, I see this happen all the time. When people see a range happening, they then all of a sudden they're now sideways traders, right? Normally we trade directional. But when the market's going sideways like this, then you start to think, oh, I can catch this bounce right here, right? You see a bounce and you try to catch it there for a buy. And then what happens when you take it? Like you don't take all these bounces, but once you take that one bounce, it hits your stop loss, right? That happens to everybody. These are the traps that people get set up in. So, what I would say and what I would advise is, stick to your game plan. If your game plan is not to trade a sideways market, don't trade these bounces off the support resistance or whatever you guys want to call this. stick to whatever your game plan is. My game plan is to take MPSV2s. There's no MPSV2, so there's nothing for me to take here, unfortunately. I mean, I'd like to take something, but there's like nothing for me to take here. I'm hoping the market picks up tomorrow because we have the NFP news come out. I mean, obviously there's no guarantee, but ideally when the news comes out like that, you usually, I mean, not NFP, FOMC, the interest rate news. Yeah, I'm not expecting much. I mean, that's pretty much what CNBC reported on as well. All right, let's see. Trump's pick for DC federal prosecutor opposed by key Republican. Breaking news right now for CNBC. A key Republican senator said he would not support the nomination of Ed Martin, President Trump's pick to be U.S. Attorney for District of Columbia. Post case prosecutor U.S. Attorney issued blanket pardons to defendants in the cases on his first day back. Interesting. Yeah, there's not really any updates here, guys. There's no news. There's no catalyst really pushing price around. Looking at the price here, it's been ranging within this area for about 40 minutes now, almost an hour, it looks like. Yeah, 40 minutes to an hour. So, all right, guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. 756 right now. The volatility is not getting any better. It's still pretty flat, around like 20 points. We're starting to get some volatility here on this current candle, though. So let me see. Yeah, Sam said, man, market's slow. Yeah, I agree. All right, so we'll see right here. There might be opportunity here for a buy. I'm going to hang out for a little bit longer, just a little bit longer to see if there's anything here that may come up. And we'll see what happens here next. Yeah, Nick said, I still remember the first trade I ever placed, a third leg, and I won. Talk about false confidence. Yeah, third leg is tricky. I try to get in on the second leg or even the first leg. The third leg is kind of tricky because that's when that's when the reversal starts to play out. All right, so we have a possible MPSV2 starting to set up right here. We have a buy signal that just came up. We have a retracement candle right here. Yeah, we'll see if this here ends up pushing back up higher. The ATR is currently at 21. So again, like what Christian said earlier, you might want to adjust your TP stop loss to something a little bit smaller. Let me take a look at the confluences here. So that breaking retest pattern just never really played out here on the market profile 1 minute. I mean, it could play out here if it comes down a little lower, possibly. Wake off the value high right there. We do have the rejection here off of 30 minutes, still rejecting off the same point, value high. The 1 hour, we don't really have much here. Same rejection from earlier this morning. Rejection here off the clean chart, 150 price point. And possible rejection here off the support level. Okay, so this is going to be tricky, guys. It is rejecting off the sessions. It's a little tricky right here. I mean, this is not going to be the entry, but it's rejecting off the sessions. It would have to close above this black line right here, which is the momentum. See, the volatility doesn't really hold here, which you guys can see. It'll push up, like maybe one candle will push up, and then it just flattens out, and then it just goes into a flat market again. Yep, no entry there, guys. Still nothing there. All right, let's see how this candle here closes. If it pushes up higher, possibly opportunity for entry, but if not, then I'll probably just wrap it up for the day. Looks like price is gonna have trouble getting past the sessions right there. All right, I'll look at one more candle here. If this thing doesn't push up above this area, then I'm probably gonna be done. And this could be the setup we were looking for right here. 20 seconds left on this candle here. It's got to close above this black line. This could be possible entry right here. Same. Candle's closing in about 3 seconds. I'm gonna get into this one. All right. See, my entry was right there. It's pushing up. I'm gonna mark up the 20. Let's move this one up here.
Order filled.
All right, let's see. Put the 20 right there. I'm in for the 40, but I'm not gonna go for the 40, of course. See, I'm gonna adjust this to 199. 30 right there. I'll watch it. If the volatility gets kind of low, then I'll probably just pull out at the 20. I mean, we'll see if the volatility picks up because 20 is gonna be that middle line right there, that black line. Price pretty much pushed up to that liquidity point. ATR is a little low. $89. It's not moving. Pretty much pushed up to that upper level of liquidity right there. ATR is currently at 19. I'm just watching the ATR to see if there's any adjustments. If it stays at like 20, I probably just might adjust and get out at 20. Yeah, I mean, the volatility is just not really moving because I don't want to hold on to this for too long. That's the main thing. It's not that I don't mind holding on to it, but I don't want to hold on to it longer than I need to. So let's see. We are 3 minutes in. Let's see if it closes above this liquidity right here. Gonna move it to the 20. The volatility here is kind of low, so we'll move it down to 89. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock right now too, so it's a little flat. It's flat as usual. I was hoping the volatility at least push up right there. So let's try to get out right there at the 89, I guess, the 20 point. This is what I hate. I hate when the market just gets super, super flat, and now we're kind of just stuck in this flat market now. All right, well, it's gotta wait a little bit. So, looking at this here, I think, well, no, the entries are there. It's at the 20 mark. So it looks like it's pulling back into the range here, unfortunately. Drag this out a little bit. It's currently at the liquidity point. So price came down right here. Okay, that little gap area. Create a low point. I'm gonna be stuck in this. I'm gonna be stuck in this sideways market. All right, slam this push up a little bit. If this here doesn't really move anywhere, I'm probably just gonna get out for like partial. I'll let you guys know though. I'm watching it. This is why I try not to trade after 8 o'clock. Sometimes the volatility picks up a little bit, but it is, I mean, it's pretty flat right now. There's not much going on. Let's take a look at the confluences. 1 minute market profile, there's not really much going on there. The good thing with this here on the 30 minute is that it is above the value high. So possibly push up from that point. 1 hour, there's nothing there. Because the new candles here closed. So it's kind of just sitting there a little flat. Pending sell signal there. There was a rejection right here. So the break and retest happened a little earlier on the clean chart. Broken retest off that area. Here goes, price pushes back up higher. It's just, I mean, price is probably just going to go sideways here. It's 8 o'clock already. You can kind of see the range here. The range is kind of bouncing between this upper range and this lower range right here. Just up, down, etc. Yeah, it's hard to confirm confluences here because there's not enough volatility. You're not really seeing bounces off any points. Price is kind of just sitting down here down the middle. Go to push back up a little bit. Down with literally nothing happening. Take a look at the overall trend. So looking over here, I mean, the 4 hour is still bullish. 1 hour is neutral, trying to shift back to bullish. 30 minute here is still bearish. 10 minute here is bullish. 5 minutes bullish. 1 minute here is kind of just shifting back and forth with the pending sell signal right there. Market profile. So what I was looking for here is I was looking for that break and retest off of this zone right here. Still in the position. So, okay, this is what I was looking for here. So see right here on the 30 minute, we had the break and retest off this this value high. I needed to see some sort of confluence here. We do have a confluence right there. It's rejecting off the value high now on the 30 minute. The 1 hour here is kind of just a little flat. 1 minute here, I was looking for the break and retest right here as well. It's not a clean break and retest, but it did cut into this area, close below, close above. There's no wick rejection, but it did close below and above it. So it's following through right there a little bit. Let's see, I'm still in it. I'm probably gonna close out soon. If it gets to my 30. It's not there yet. Still in the position. Here, I'm moving my stop up a little bit. If it gets to my 30, I'm just gonna pull out of this for a loss. 39. I'm stopped out. It's all good. Small loss right there. Lost about 1,000. So it is what it is. Stop filled. Yeah, I mean the volatility is too low, guys. Unfortunately, this is one of those trades where I was hoping the volatility pick back up. It didn't even reach the 20 here. So that's cool. This is considered a fair loss on my end. Criteria was met. There was buy confluence is there. This did look like a pretty decent entry, but the volatility just wasn't there. So went in for basically a 30-30, and then I got stopped out right there at the 30 mark. So it's after 8 o'clock. This kind of went against my rules, but it was like literally at the 8 o'clock mark. So typical move for a late session entry, and I'll put this in our stats. So first loss for the week, not a big deal. I'm still up for the month, and I mean it is what it is. Just one of those trades. So loss right there. Got out at the 30. That's all good. We'll come back tomorrow fresh. Hopefully tomorrow the market will be a little more volatile. Yeah, it's just one of those trades. Yeah, Tarek said all good. Caught an L on that one too. On to the next one. Christian said, hate when it's so close to TP and it reverses. I know, I was trying to get out right there at the 20 mark, right? So I was trying to get out right here at the 20 mark, basically grab liquidity right there, and then it swung up, or it swung down actually. So it's all good. I was really close to getting out here for a partial. Like Sam got out there. He got out at like 20 or 15, I think. Yeah. So Sam got out a little early. And I was thinking about it because once it hit 8 o'clock right here, the volatility died down. I was hoping this would spike up at least a little bit and just hit my TP and get out. But it's all good. It turned around on us here. It was a slow roll though. This is a long position. So I held on to this position for about, let's see, it was way longer than I normally hold on to it. Yeah, about 10 minutes. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back up. It basically faked out. So looking at the entry right here, I basically faked out of the range. I drew this range up, price pushed up, faked out right there, pulled back into the range, rejected right here, and possibly I wouldn't be surprised if this thing pushes all the way back up from here. But it's all good. All right, guys, I'm gonna take that loss for the day. Just one loss, small loss, not anything too crazy. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have some wins and we'll bounce back from that loss there. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, we'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow. Tomorrow's Fed day, so volatility might be a little bit higher, hopefully, and a little more consistent. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys here tomorrow. If you guys have questions, catch me on the Discord. Otherwise, I would just sit out of the market, guys. There's no need to force anything. I know probably someone like Steven here is probably gonna try to revenge trade this. Don't revenge trade it, bro. There's no need to revenge trade this. My price is probably going to stay within this consolidation zone for a while, and then it'll probably break